Daiga Ho, everyone. And I can honestly say Cassie taught me that 30 seconds ago, and it doesn't mean kill a prostitute, apparently. Today's episode is going to be about Hong Kong's beverage industry, and by that I mean alcohol, as this is an expat podcast, despite Cassie telling you it never is. As we know, the language of expats is free-flow brunches and slight racism, so today we're trying to focus on the former. We are talking to a Soho barman because we couldn't find it in LKF because it's died a harder death than hamsters in January. Joined by your co-host Cassie, who is responsible for 25% of all money spent in Kennedy Town past 2 a.m. in the morning. I am your other host, Ashley James. I'm just here because they couldn't convince anyone else to do it. And introducing our guest today, our Soho barman, Magnus Ribbing.
Hi.
Nice to be here.
Thank you for having me.
Obviously, you're not a Hong Kong local.
No.
Do you want to tell us a bit about where you're from and how did you end up in Hong Kong?
Sure thing. I'm from Stockholm, Sweden, in the north.
Do you mean China?
No, way north. I came to Hong Kong in May of 2018.
Okay.
I came to open a Nordic gastropub for a restaurant group called the Franzen Group that I used to work for.
I love France.
In
Franzen's Kitchen.
Franzen's Kitchen, exactly. So
way too expensive for me. I've not heard of it yet.
It's fucking expensive. So yeah, that's a restaurant group that started in Stockholm like fucking 15 years ago, and I worked for them for 7 or 6 years in Stockholm. Moved from Sweden, traveled around a little bit, ended up in London, and was then called on a lunch break at the shitty pub I worked at in London, and they said, we're gonna do a project in Hong Kong. Would you like to come over and do the beverage program? So a month later, I landed in Hong Kong. It was a collaborative project with the Maximum Concepts Group, who have a bunch of other, or used to have at least a bunch of other venues in Hong Kong. That's what I came here.
I didn't know you could have other jobs apart from English teacher and banker wanker if you're white in Hong Kong. You discover something new every day. No, I'm not revealing my job.
Yeah.
You can guess by how poor I am. Okay, what's the next one? So yeah, then you eventually moved on. So you arrived in May 2018. You did that. When did you move over to like your current group? I can't remember.
I met some of the owners of the Shady Acres group, or well, I guess now we are a group. We didn't used to be in that same company, and then they sort of approached me with the idea of Shady Acres as an independent restaurant and wine bar, and then we left and started working on that project, and we opened in 2019, if I'm correct.
Time to open.
Yeah, I know. It was.
Skimming over that.
It was. Yeah, we opened and we had like a couple of good months before the political situation sort of all happened. But yeah, now it's been 3 years with Shady. A couple of venues later. Yeah.
So if I'm correct, it's Shady's, Honky's, Mendel's. Am I missing one? Do you have another one?
So yeah, it's Shady. We opened Shady first. About a year later-ish, we opened Honky Tonks. Then we opened Quality Goods Club. Last year, it's gonna be almost a year anniversary for it right about now, and Mendel's, 6 months ago?
Yeah, that's my favorite place. That's the closest one to us.
Still never been. I'm so bad at going to things.
No, it's great, man. It's great.
I've heard so much good things about Mendel. Yeah. And I was booked to.
You also just complained it was too expensive. So that's a running theme in his life.
Yeah, my running theme in my life is anything over $50 for food. It's too expensive. Yeah.
We very rarely eat meals.
But yeah, I've only been podcasting twice. Once was for Esmeet's birthday, and second was I was meant to perform there in the end of January 2022.
Which one?
Quality Goods was doing comedy shows, weren't they? Because it's a live performance venue. And I was booked to. I'm also a stand-up comedian, as you can tell how funny I am by on this podcast. But like I was meant to be doing, I was meant to do it mid-January, and for some reason I don't know why we never did it. Just killing lots of hamsters later. COVID hasn't gone away.
Wasn't something happening right around then that didn't allow?
COVID.
COVID.
The salty was clearly missed there. I was like,
What could have
The PR machine is full. Like, it wasn't us. Scary.
Yeah, I'm not blaming quality goods. It legally couldn't have happened. I want to make that very clear. But yeah, so you started obviously. So Shady's obviously is quite a family mentality, if I'm right as well. Whenever I go in, I've met you. A guy called Happy, who I still don't believe is his real name, and it's not.
It
annoys me.
His last name is Gilmore.
Yeah, I follow him. But yeah, that sounds like I stalk him. I follow him on Instagram. He's a very big dude, I'm not gonna lie, it's not hard. But yeah, so apart from that, like, you have the family atmosphere. What do you think separates you from like other bars in, like, because it's very you almost like same as chaotic as like a cult following. Whenever I go into a bar, it's normally 90% the same customers. They're always posting you on Instagram. Like, you almost like have a cult following of
Sure. I mean, when we opened Shady, we were looking to fill a gap or a void in the Hong Kong bar scene, which we then, I think, succeeded with quite well. Hence that we were so busy from the start, and even through COVID, actually survived and continued to be busy as can be given the circumstances. And I mean, like, it's pretty simple in a way, where like in Hong Kong it felt like you would either have to choose between like Bar Pacific or
Don't talk shit about Bar Pacific.
I was there the other day. I fucking love shooting darts and singing karaoke. Like it's great, but like there was no sort of like middle, or but there was very few places that would hit that middle ground where like this is inclusive, it's quality, and it doesn't cost you a fuck ton of money. Where you would still be in like a fucking nice, clean looking venue, you would still be served top quality product. But if you take away sort of all of the like fancy golden flair and the stick up your ass service, you don't then have to pay $120 for a fucking gin and tonic just to have it well made in a nice setting by a fucking good bartender, right? And that was very scarce, I would say, in general for like the central places in Hong Kong. They were also very concept driven as well, where like if you go somewhere, it's like a jungle theme and everything is jungle, and you don't want that every time you go out for like a drink. That's maybe once a month you want to go to the jungle bar, once a month you want to go to, you know what I mean? And then like Hong Kong.
The one in Jordan, right? Just to let's talk about the one in Jordan.
Yeah, of course, clearly.
His local bar is.
That used to be my local bar.
But so like it was part of that.
The Rainforest Cafe. I don't ever really go to Jordan.
I just go out in the woods and same shit. Mainly that, right? Like it was a gap that was needed to be filled, and we wanted to create a venue that was always busy. So like a venue's not gonna, like no venue will not succeed because it's too cheap and too full. Right? So we were full every fucking day, constantly, because you could get $20 beers, like, and we had a second happy hour too, so you could drag people in again, and like that stood out, I think, and to also be able to like get that cheap kind of drink with good service in a nice looking place was something that didn't really exist in the same way. You could get $45 gin and tonics, but it would be like
in a plastic cup.
It would be in a plastic cup in a shithole.
I for one love shitholes.
Me too.
All my favorite bars are shitholes.
Yeah.
I'm not going to shout them out because I don't want to call them shitholes.
Quench, Mr. Wong's.
I don't go to Mr. Wong's, I go for expat trash.
That was usually my first date spot. I love a Mr. Wong.
So embarrassing.
I would offer to pay the $40 for free flow, and Mr. Wong's gives you. But
It's $40?
$40 all you can drink. Have you never been?
No.
You know what we're doing after this podcast.
It's like a backpacker place. It's like in Kowloon, and it's all you can eat and all you can drink.
The one that you think
this one.
it's now saved as like
Yeah.
Cock and Bull Dungeon on like Google Maps. He doesn't even give a shit about like changing the name back. But and it's $80 for all you can eat and all you can drink. But it's like one type of mainland beer that makes you shit for 3 days after.
I went there once and it was absolutely disgusting. I went for like the meme. I was like, oh no.
Well, that's something which we touch on a lot in this podcast, and by that I mean the 1 and a bit episodes we've done, is how tight I am. But I would say, and this is to going to you as well, because I think an average drink in Shady Acres is about, like a good quality drink is $90 if I'm right.
Yeah.
I know that because of my credit card.
He's like counting
But happy hour is
coins.
45. They're not doing happy hour at the moment. Like, but you make very good drinks and very like unique drinks as well. Like my favorite, genuinely, I'm not being paid for this. I don't get paid for anything. Is retrograde lemonade. Like where'd you get that? I think that's one of your most popular drinks. It's the one I drag people into your bar to like drink
it's the most popular drink actually, and it's one of those things that has been on the menu since we opened, and we'll probably never go off the menu regardless of any menu changes or anything, because I mean it's just a super easy crowd pleaser kind of drink. It has what everybody fucking likes, and it comes in a, like, we used to have this amazing glassware for it, which was like old Happy Meal glassware. But from like the fucking 80s and shit, so it would be like Muppets or like old Star Wars like paintings and shit.
Football World Cup.
The Coca-Cola one,
yeah. In our house, so because my husband used to work for McDonald's, so we managed to find these. But what is in it? Because I've actually never been to Shady Acres. I've been to Honky Tonks, but we'll touch on this later because of my feud with your social manager. I didn't like step foot in there when all my friends were going.
Yeah, but now we know who you are. We're getting used to it.
And now I'm announcing it again.
Well, for some reason I never get a seat, and that's probably because I don't spend any money. I'm just stand up at happy hour. I'll just be like, give me 7 more retrogrades before it closes.
So what is in this?
I mean, the retrograde is
so we can steal the rest.
It's super simple. No, but it's a vodka. It's a vodka drink. Has a little bit of dry vermouth in it. So dry vermouth, fortified wine. It's with elderflower liqueur, ginger syrup, apple juice and lemon juice. So it's just like a big fucking juicy kind of thing that tastes almost healthy but really isn't. You know.
I've been lied to. It's not healthy.
He's getting his only vitamins a week.
I mean, ginger's healthy, I guess. Apple is healthy too. You know, vodka is alright.
To explain in further detail, because you don't obviously know me very well, is Cassie will know this. I don't eat fruit or vegetables, so genuinely it's like I don't eat any.
How are you?
Not well.
He's one step away from death.
Legitimate. I go to McDonald's and take the salad off the burger.
I used to take the little cucumber out when I was a kid.
Pickles?
Yeah.
That's like the best part.
No, not in McDonald's.
And I love the McDonald's pickles.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't remember the last time I had McDonald's, but I.
Your husband worked for them for like 5 years.
Yeah, exactly why I don't eat them.
Fair
He would send me the discounts on a Monday and be like, actually, this is what we got on this week. I'm like, I'm there, mate, don't worry about it.
But you were there just not that long ago.
McDonald's? You just saw me? Magnus knows he does. I've seen you, mate.
No, not Shady. I saw you at one of the tables.
We did a
remember
post-lunch.
now because you did no vegetable thing, because one of your friends that I think is a mutual friend of ours too, were trying to force you to fucking eat vegetables. and I
that is pretty much every time I get drunk with someone, they're like, I'll buy you a drink if you eat a pickle. And I'm like, well, this is a weird party trick, but yes, I will. Might be the biggest scam of all time if I actually started liking vegetables.
You just love it.
I just sit there going,
you want to pay me to eat this?
It's a Pavlovian response. Once you do it enough times, you'll
I have a diet of a 6-year-old.
Yeah, it's actually really disgusting. It's horrible.
That's why we're not eating together again tonight.
Exactly. So the Shady Acres, what is the concept of it? Again, I'm not.
Well, I mean,
other than the price point and the family. What kind of food do you serve?
Fine wines, stiff drinks, good times.
Okay, cool. Nice and easy.
We'll move on to the social media bit in a bit, but you've also had a lot of special events there, if I'm right.
Yeah,
a lot of dog themed ones.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, our original logo is of a Frenchie that just when we were in like the construction stage, we were just like sitting in this. Shady was like a big empty room construction site which only had a desk, and on that desk there was only a globe with a little sticker tag that I put on it saying "Your Oyster," and that was that venue was for like a couple of months after we got it, and was like working on building it, because like we painted the walls, fucking built the chairs, we made that whole thing, and then one of those days there was a little fucking ugly ass Frenchie walking around outside, and we were like, oh shit, look at that thing, and then we named it. We would see it, and we named it without asking the owner. We named it Otis. And then Otis became our first like brand logo outside of the Shady Acres. Like,
did you pay Otis?
Nah, fuck no.
Slave labor.
But
where's the copyright? Right.
But dogs are always welcome at Shady. Otis paid for that's Otis. That's our contribution to the dog population. You're welcome here. But yeah, so we did that, and then people started to like sort of like. They thought it was a cute thing, a fun thing with the dog. So now we have, I think, 14 or 15 different dogs and one cat that snuck in there. And they're all real dogs that like belongs to regulars of the bar and so forth. So we would have them send pictures to us. We have one of our artists draw it up, and then we print that on like this season's glassware.
Yeah.
So it's sort of a way to also like connect and interact with the community.
How do I put my dog forward to be on one of the glasses?
Oh wait, you can put to the picture just behind
she's
you.
There, look, she's a supermodel.
You can start by visiting once.
Step 1, don't piss off their social media manager. Step 2, go to the bar. Step 3, no, I'm not going to say step 3 because Cassie will bite me, which her dog would also. Which was step 3, stop your dog biting people.
That's true.
Probably shouldn't come for a photo shoot.
But yeah, like we have a lot of people ask about that, and they're like, how do I get my dog on the glasses? And I mean, be a regular at the bar and fucking let us get to know your dog. We don't care about you that much. It's the dog that we're interested in.
Yeah, because you also this sounds like, for someone that said that wasn't a big fan of Shady's earlier, you also released, I just follow you on social media to be fair, you also released your own wine, or am I making that up as well? Was that Shady? You released your own alcohol, I can't remember if it was a wine, but like maybe your own brand of alcohol.
We have a couple. We have a couple actually. We make beer together with Young Master. For example, it's called the Beer Hug. It's like a New England style kind of IPA, quite light and floral, super delicious. We have our really good friend, one of our resident like artists, Joshua Khan. I don't know if you're familiar with him.
Joshua,
yeah. He's cool as fuck. He makes really
dumb cartoons.
Yeah, like doodles and shit. They're fucking awesome. But
he did stand up for a little bit.
Yeah. Oh shit, he did.
I think he attempted it once.
God, I imagine that was so awkward.
Oh mate, please encourage all your friends to stand up because it makes me look better when they fail. Just genuinely, the standard's so low in Hong Kong, I'm one of the better ones. That's how bad it is.
Okay, not one of the better ones. Middling.
So
who opened for my headline show?
Did I?
Yeah, that's how fucking bad I am.
Where does that put Jason then?
Jason is like that. Because I know you're good friends with John. Jason is like, I think he works for a beverage, like, I say beverage is his thing. He works for Food and Drink fucking magazine, doesn't he? But yeah, Jason is one of our mutual friends, I know that.
It's not laughed at me, we're not just talking shit about comics.
Jason, I would genuinely say is one of the better comics in Hong Kong, but also one of the best bookers. Like, I don't know if you've known, like, down by Elgin Street, he had his own venue, like, he's done well. He just, I mean, we could do one in York. No, Honky's fault. There's no, like, quality goods or probably someone who's like, I'm just gonna go on tangents now, but yeah, like stand up is same as like, well probably a good segue actually. Like, you know how many challenges there's been to like obviously with COVID with the food and beverage industry, and we'll talk about that. It's same with live performances because live performances have been banned for like 2.5. I know. So any bars cannot have live performances. They have to be like a thing. We were doing Quality Goods. We've done Culture Club, which is down in Elgin, right next to you. There's a new bar that's opened up. Thirsty Shaker wanted to book us. Like, stand-up's one of those things where like it's really growing in Hong Kong, and like I'm not too my own horn, but there's like 20 good comics in Hong Kong minimum, and the Cantonese scene, and it's something to get people into your bar that's a bit different. And then the government have just said, like, same as us, like restrictions, they don't want it spreading because like someone talking or someone laughing is a lot. Aftermath's a great venue that sponsors a lot, and it's just not happening at the moment. So there's a good segue probably for you. What challenges have you faced in COVID? Like,
yeah, man, fucking all of them. It's been super difficult. I mean, like, first of all, the capacity restrictions of only operating at like 50% capacity and having to, our venue is specifically terribly fucking designed for it because it has like not a lot of actual tables, if you know what I mean. Like, there's a lot of standing space, which is not allowed whatsoever, and then there's one long ass table, which still only counts as one table, but it seats like it seats like fucking 12 people, but that still only counts as one table. So if you can only have 2 people per table, then you're losing out. Like the table is like from that wall to over there. All that space you can do fuck all with, right? Because you can only seat 2 people at this massive table, and then the other other two are also like there's 6 people tables ish. You can only have two on each, and then the rest is at a bar, which would also mean that you need like 1.5 meters in between these bar seats.
Bar is a grey area.
Yeah, it's a fucking weird one, man. All of it was just a hustle to sort of navigate through, and especially since like fuck man, I don't want to talk shit about the cops on camera.
I was going to say
but like especially since they were so present on Peel Street all the time, really like keeping their eyes out and sort of trying to like find something to book you on, kind of. It was just like immense pressure, because every time some new sort of thing came out, you didn't really know how to do it, or what you could do or what you couldn't do, and if you fail, you're fucked.
Yeah, that must have been part of the huge part of trying to navigate and trying to sort of get between loopholes and stuff, and which you really cannot really get around within. I think I'd say the whole of Soho. It's increasingly, and once you go just to show on, people are getting away with all sorts of shit. And I mean,
once you go to Elgin Street, people get away with all sorts of shit.
It's definitely a little bit more. So that's like, I mean, again, I live in Kennedy Town, so it's relatively, I mean, a lot less effective.
Yeah, for sure.
And you sort of feel like the sense of being able to breathe a little bit more.
Recently? Or do you mean in Kennedy Town in general?
In Kennedy Town.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
absolutely.
That's why I like being there, because I hate going to Central. I never go because it's such an unpleasant, ever-present.
The social climate with all of it is like, it's heavy, it's on you.
Yeah, I mean, I want to, again, we won't talk about the reasons why, but I remember, because I arrived around the same time as you, I arrived about 5 months before you. So I arrived in Jan 18 as an expat, and obviously the first thing I remember Peel Street, because it was LKF, was still not kind of, I would say LKF's not dead now, but it's like, maybe I'm older and it's just like, it's full of fucking young people and I don't like it.
Yeah, but LKF was completely dead.
Yeah, but like, I definitely saw, I would say like 2018, 2019 was when it moved from LKF to Soho. Like when I first arrived in Hong Kong, it was still like 50-50, like 50 Soho, 50 LKF, and it slowly moved over. And the first bar I remember being big, apart from Shady's, was 99 Bottles, which is obviously up just a little bit hill. There's obviously Lager at the top, but 99 Bottles used to do birthday parties, and it would be like free booze for like your first 100 customers, and like Peel Street would be so fucking packed, like you couldn't move. And then eventually, obviously, it spills into you because you start, fuck it, I don't want to queue up for the free beer, I'll just go and buy something. And now they have the cones in the middle, like you can't even like walk down the middle of Peel anymore.
No, exactly. It's wild actually how they do that. But how it used to be. It used to be like fucking 300 people on that fucking street from the staircase all the way down to Hollywood Road, and you couldn't fucking walk. You have to like shoulder your way through this mass of just like drunk fucking Australians.
We're just going straight.
I'm sorry.
No, don't worry. That's pretty much in the tone of the group. I'm not gonna lie.
Fantastic.
If you want to be more popular, just say the French. That's the way.
But that's passé, man.
I think I did do an Instagram poll on our Instagram of the worst expats, and I think it was French, Americans, British, and Aussies came in fourth. And I'm like, you're fucking
kidding me?
Well, this is a good question for you then. Minus on COVID, who are the worst customers for you? Like, obviously we do it like.
You don't have to say like by race.
I mean if you're expat customers, because obviously we're the worst. We're horrible and we do lots of things. And you have a not mainly expat base, but you have a large expat base. I do see a lot of locals in there as well.
Sure, we do. I mean, like then like to make it inclusive of all nationalities. The Saturday guests are the worst guests, and that comes from like two specific reasons, and it's that they're either coming.
Can I guess?
Please.
Post brunch.
Junk and brunch.
Yes.
I always think when I'm walking around and I'm like seeing people, I'm like, I feel so bad. There's one thing like dealing with, okay, they're spending $800 on a brunch, you know, you're at least getting your business work, and then you just have someone stumble into your bar and just stick around for like 2 drinks and like harassing everybody.
Exactly.
And I would like to apologise for that in advance. I would never go post junk. I go home and pass out. However, post brunch.
That's the way, man. Because post junk and post brunch, they're both equally. Post junk is slightly worse. But they're both fucking terrible, and it's just people who have like, it's just like gross expats who've been in the sun all day.
Yeah, they're
sunstroke. They're rolling in like bloated as fuck and pinkish, and they are already so fucking drunk and like tired from the sun and shit that like you're making zero money on these people, and as you say, they're just like harassing every other person in around, whether they're trying to or not. You know, they will just like they will walk past like a chair that people are having dinner at this table, and they just fucking sit down at the table and like you know, have a drink and smell like shit. I don't know.
Tell us how you really feel about it.
Yeah, we might have to cut a little bit of this here and there.
Well, no, I would say Hong Kong bars are very tolerant. Like, if it was the UK, like, I was in a unnamed Varga bar on Saturday, and like, someone got caught like stealing drinks. Like, they were just helping themselves to a keg, and the owner, who's a very nice guy, was like, "If you do that again, you kicked out." I'm like, "Mate, you'd have your head kicked in a back alley in the UK for that." I don't know how bad Sweden is. Like, your bars have never had bouncers, as far as I'm aware. But like, you only bounce like in any UK bar. It doesn't matter who you are, you have a bouncer. It's the worst of the UK coming over and bugging you. Is my point.
No, but for real, it's Hong Kong is. Because I used to work in the UK as well, and it's Hong Kong is it's fucking wild what like people get away with here in comparison. Because you're right, you wouldn't just be thrown out. Like you would go to jail, or you would be beaten the fuck up by like the bouncer or something for doing like not even half the shit you get away with doing here. You know,
you wouldn't even let in if you came dressed in your shitty costumes in Hawaiian shirts from a junk. The bouncer would be like, fuck off.
Exactly. And there's multiple reasons for it. I mean, like one of them being like Sweden is the same as well. I mean, Hong Kong has no law, I think, or at least none that is like used actively by any place I know in regards to over-serving a guest or being too intoxicated in a venue.
So you can be arrested for public intoxication on the streets by law in Hong Kong, but it is so rarely ever. You have to like. I mean, now they can arrest you for not wearing a mask. Like if you're getting really muggy with them. Back in the day, you'd have to like be getting into fights. I mean, I was born in Hong Kong, right? So I know all the rules. I don't obey them.
Also, I love you said that as if you're not an alcoholic is the main reason you know those rules. I'm born in Hong Kong. I know all the alcohol-related rules.
I'm like drunk. That's it.
Can I vomit in this corner?
But I wanted to ask you: have you ever cut someone off at Shady's?
Absolutely.
Not.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've never seen a bartender cut someone off in Hong Kong.
Oh, you've not met
That is insane. That is so fucking wild. Like, absolutely. It happens frequently. You just do it in a little bit more of like a cheeky, friendly way. Whilst like in Sweden, it's like you could go to jail for over-serving. Like if I serve somebody that is clearly intoxicated, I will literally go to jail as a bartender for not noticing that. As soon as that person walks through those doors, it is actually my legal responsibility to gauge how drunk this person is. And if that person leaves that bar and gets all fucked up and goes and like beats somebody up, I'm liable for why that person got that fucked. In Hong Kong, that doesn't exist. So we only cut like people off in a different way. I mean, like you can tell like if somebody's fucking sleeping, they gotta go. For example, you can't have anybody sleeping in your bar. That's like rule of thumb everywhere. Or people get aggressive, people get very rude. Like if somebody flips you off, they don't necessarily have to like leave the bar, but like you're not gonna get served another drink if you flip the bar.
As well, I guess, instead of being busy and
exactly, and then that usually kind of works and makes it easier for both parts, where they don't have to feel embarrassed in front of people to be told that they're too drunk, and you also don't have to possibly take that conversation, so you can kind of just act like you don't see them because you're fucking busy regardless. So you just make that time for somebody else, and they usually quite easily understand that, making it more pleasant sort of mutual understanding that like you should probably go. You're welcome tomorrow, but you should probably go. Unless they're harassing another guest or a staff member, then we rarely like tell people to leave. But I mean, there's lines, of course, like you can't.
I mean, I've been Tonki's, which is your sister bar, obviously, and our mutual friend, who I won't name, Anu. Do you know Anu?
Exactly. She was the one trying to make you eat
there you go. Anu is often like told, have a glass of water, then you can have another drink, which is a nice way of putting it.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah, exactly.
But I also hate Australians.
It's so big and
oafish. So your hands like dust.
It's so big and loud, and then they're also like sometimes like so friendly, and it's just like fuck off, just.
Alright, we need to give context for that before we go on too long or someone clips that. We'll go over this incident. So obviously, Chaotic is quite famous, as you can see by the things, for winding people up, for winding people up.
For no reason.
Yeah, Cassie obviously formed the group, and that was pretty much Cassie trying to be a bit of
Well, no, because I got banned from all the other groups for giving wrong answers to things and like just doing general misdirection.
And one of such things was when I believe it wasn't one of our mods, but someone
It was
posted.
my husband.
It was your husband. Oh, okay. I was like, we're not too related. Literally related. He's also a very close friend.
The first gentleman of the other as we call
There's
it.
only 3 people I don't know if you know how admins work, but like we have to approve all our memes. Like they're fucking a lot of shit is posted. And Darren's pre-approved, so he made it through the filters and posted a picture saying, I think it was Shady Acres on a Tuesday or something like that.
Yeah,
with a picture, something like that, with a picture of all the white people attacking the Capitol, and your marketing manager was not particularly happy. And walk us through that from the other side of the Facebook.
Because the one thing you know about us is that the more you get upset by something, and we will admit if we're really in the wrong. I don't think we were in the wrong. the more you're like indignant, the more we're like, oh, this is the theme of the week.
Well,
And we're not letting out in any other memes except for about
I
sheep.
will give you some backstory. I won't mention the China bar. This is a recurring thing. If you come into our inbox and moan about a meme, give me free alcohol and we'll make a nicer meme. That's how it works. What you don't do is share it to your story saying you're not Nazis. For us, that's just like, I know it's not Magnus, I want to be very clear, it was not Magnus. But then what will happen is 10 more days of memes. Because it's funny.
Yeah, but we don't mean to grill you.
No, it's funny.
No worries. Yeah, I mean, like, that's just the fucking internet, man. I remember it too, and like, I guess we're talking a little bit about like generational, like there's difference in generations in the understanding of how the internet works, and what you just kind of like don't do if you understand how it works is to fall into a fucking troll trap, right? Which was really obvious that happened, and I was speaking to the person and the person was like, they're calling us fucking Nazis. And
so to give some context, what happened is we have Instagram and Facebook. It's posted on Facebook. One of us, it's mainly me and Cassie that run the Instagram with a friend called Kelly, then shared it, and it was posted to the Shady Acres account at the meme that was made in Chaotic at 2 a.m. in the morning, so you can probably see the mindset of said person I won't name, and they said, how dare you call us Nazis?
No, white supremacist was
oh yeah, sorry, that important distinction. I don't want to offend the Nazis.
we're the capital in that situation.
It was very misunderstood. There was no accusation.
I also just realized, like, if we're being attacked by Nazis, that's right? So yeah, I mean, it's a whole so stupid. It's a whole big misunderstanding, I guess. But like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I wasn't trying to give some sort of friendly millennial advice, being like, do you know what you've done? Like, you gotta stop. Like, you just gotta stop. It's like, there's no winning this. You have to understand that, like, you can't like argue with this entity as to why we would not be Nazis. That is so not within the frames of what's happening here, you know. And then I mean, like, yeah, then you kept going for like a couple of days at least.
like children with like a toy.
No, like, I get it.
Poke the bear, poke the bear, poke the bear.
I get it, and like I think it was more of like I don't know, man. I don't want to speak for anybody except for saying that like that was funny and fucking stupid.
I mean, we will go on that because it is what it is. But you've also been on the not the good side of Chaotic, but like the other side. Where we won't talk too much because I believe the legal case is coming up. It might be ongoing, so we won't talk about the legalities of it. But obviously, there's a very famous bagel wars, which was between a venue you own.
Want to not talk about that?
I mean, I'm not touching that with a 5-foot pole.
It's called, I know this is an internet term, Barbra Streisand effect, whereas the more you mention it and tell people not to pay attention to it, everyone's going to pay attention to it. How the internet works. I'm like, It was great for us. We got a lot of fun. Like, we don't get paid for this shit. We're just doing it to wind you up.
Is that called the Barbra Streisand effect?
Yeah, it's a real thing. You know the Barbra Streisand? I will Google it very quickly and read
No,
out.
Google it. You're interrupting airtime.
Streisand effect.
Yeah, Streisand effect.
No, I know.
Okay.
Okay.
I thought you
The sound guy. Sound guy's like, fuck it. Yeah, it exists. Thank you, Adrian.
It exists. Yes.
Adrian is a very good sound guy, and he's also not a white supremacist. That's the main thing.
None of the team here does Hong Kong podcast are white supremacists.
So that was the memes covered.
I was going to ask something else. So you're a bartender or you're a beverage director?
Fuck is that?
Because like beverage, someone who does a beverage program is also like with wine and that sort of thing, just like cocktails.
I don't do either of those right now,
okay.
actually. But I've worked as the bar manager for Shady Acres.
Bar managers.
Bar manager for Shady Acres. I have worked a lot with events and the what would you call it? The social aspect of relationship building and so forth.
Because I was saying you guys have all these fantastic wines and cocktails, and you're drinking a Smirnoff Ice on your table.
Fuck yeah! No, for real.
I'll open another one because we've run out of support.
So I'm gonna make
That's
that
right,
really
I can eat
clear though, that he asked me what I like and I told him I like cognac and crisp white wine. So I don't know what the fuck
Just running through to get more beverages.
no, but I mean, like I think that's one of the things that actually goes for a lot of bartenders. Can we have glasses for the whiskey?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I like how this is what he's come up with for cognac and crisp.
To be fair, we asked him for a wall of memes, and for some reason we just have like I don't know who's that woman?
I don't know.
No one knows who that woman is. Okay, don't mention that. That's fine. I love Pikachu. He's my favorite one.
But yeah, I feel like honestly, it's a lot of bartenders who have been doing it for a while, and I think you could compare it quite a bit to do you think any professional chef go home after work and cook a perfect meal? Fuck no, man. They want a greasy burger, or they want something like that. They want something simple and easy. And I love drinking cocktails. I truly do. And I love drinking wine, and I mean I love drinking. And I love drinking quality shit too. Yeah. But there is a certain charm that I really like about fucking shitty 7-Eleven drinks. Strong lines. Fuck yeah, they're so awesome.
Ironically, one of your biggest competitors is Club 7-Eleven. It's a really unique thing in Hong Kong.
For sure.
We compare British drinking culture. It's just a thing in Hong Kong. I fucking loved it because I'll be honest, when I first came to Hong Kong, I earned 15,000 a month. Take away rent, 10,000. You're done. Yeah. My entire fucking life was get drunk outside 7-Eleven, try and sneak into Rula Buddha with a drink. And when you're sneaking into Rula Buddha. Yeah, when you're sneaking into Rula Buddha, that's a low point in life. Unless you want to sponsor us, in which case.
Club 7-Eleven is the Hong Kong equivalent of Stormies.
Hey!
Don't insult Stormies, yeah.
Stories.
But no, I love good happy hour.
Ages ago, but
But yeah, I mean, it's awesome. I love Smirnoff Ice, man. It's the shit. I used to get fucked up on that when I was a teenager all the time. You would have somebody's older brother or sister or something. They would go to in Sweden. There's one shop in the whole country that is allowed to sell alcohol above 3.5%.
It's the same as in Canada.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a government-owned one, basically, and they have super inconvenient opening hours and shit, and you can't go there on Sundays at all, and it's a nightmare, but everybody's a fucking alcoholic.
That's probably why they have all these rules.
Yeah. It's like a culture thing kind of thing, It's like
Finland banned beer for a while. I think that was not within.
That's a long time ago. Though.
Yeah.
Hong Kong is very weird for. I mean, there's obviously underage drinking, not in Shady Acres bars. We want to make that very clear. But I've never. Obviously, I hope I look over 18, but I do have a baby face. Every time I go out in the UK, I get ID'd.
Well,
I've never been ID'd in Hong Kong.
We didn't have a drinking age until November 2018. 2017. We didn't.
Why did you know this?
Because I was an underage drinker in Hong Kong.
But then underage drinking didn't exist.
Yes, technically. So you could buy alcohol at any age. And
this is what I've heard of. You couldn't buy in a bar, but you could buy it from 7-Eleven.
You couldn't buy and consume in a bar, but you can buy. 7-Eleven had their own rule, which was 18. But
that was not a government rule. That was just 7-Eleven saying.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
So like you could just like walk in, and sometimes you'd be like, when I was really young, like 12, they'd be like, "Who's this for?" I'd be like, "My mom's having a dinner party." They'd be like, "Why are you buying King Robert?"
Which is a great alcohol.
My mother's very frugal. Okay.
It's the worst time ever.
That's crazy, actually. I mean, in Sweden, it's 18 to drink in bars and restaurants, and then there's a bunch of places who have their own rules because they don't want a bunch of like 18-year-olds crowding their expensive space or whatever. And then to buy alcohol at this shop, you have to be 20.
So obviously during COVID, a lot of restaurants, bars, and stuff pivoted towards delivery or food panda, and you guys did something.
Yes. We did our own deliveries for the first 2 rounds of like the 6 o'clock closing curfew for restaurants. So we would do like opening for lunch and then close, and we would do deliveries from like 6 to later. That was fucking wild. So we would be like 3 people on like the delivery roster basically, and you would deliver from Soho to like, what's that little cute area that's like after Causeway Bay, that is like a little bit
House?
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
Tai Hang.
Also, we would like
Pickle lives there, right?
Can you stop doxing people on the podcast?
Yeah, Pickle.
Cancel that.
So we would deliver like all the way to Tai Hang and basically to Kennedy Town. And you would like get an order, put a fucking huge ass backpack on, get your little shot bottle, because we would always give people shots in the same way we would do like...
I would have ordered if I got a shot. That's free shit.
We should advertise more free stuff than ask people.
We used to have this big bottle in the restaurant with that sticker on it with a fish drinking gin called free gin, which we would just give away to people when they left the restaurant. That's like a little goodbye gift. So for the delivery stuff, we made a small portable free gin bottle, and we would do shots with the people we delivered to.
Sorry, Magnus, did you have a little, those dentist cups that you get?
Yes.
Did you have one of those dispensers?
Yeah, of course.
For comedy value.
Of course, we had the shot glasses with us, we had like the gin and everything, and you would take the fucking bike, which was a shit bike, it was like super heavy.
Do you mean, just confirm, like pedal bike? Like
a
non-motorized, like bicycle,
bicycle.
No motor,
No motor, no.
Yeah, so I was double confirming,
No, not a cool bike.
Double confirm.
Like a bike that you had to fucking paddle on, and you would take that bike like all the way fucking down Hollywood Road, and there was this fucking guy who called, and he was like, I want like this and that, can deliver it ASAP. You come down, and I ride the elevator up, and I walk up to the door and I ring the doorbell, and the door opens, and this fucking guy, he just jumps out butt naked in front of the door, big ass dick, like swinging.
I was about to say I'm so sorry for doing that, but then you said big ass dick, so it can't be me.
Couldn't have been. And he jumped out, saw it was me, and jumped back to the side again, and slammed the door, and I just stood there like, should I run, or like, what the fuck is happening?
He's doing a part of the physical comedy.
So like he then opened the door, and he was like, I'm so fucking sorry. I called in this food because I'm doing a surprise for my girlfriend. And she then, as he was saying this, came out of the elevator. So she had called him being like, hey babe, I'm in the elevator, I'll be up. But she must have done it 30 seconds before getting into the elevator. So I was already in the elevator, and then we all kind of stood there in like a weird Mexican standoff, being like, so do I go in or do you, or like what is happening? That was fucking wild.
Maybe he just had that much confidence because his dick was so huge.
Yeah, I mean maybe.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think I could do that. But I'm a grower, not a shower. I'm like, I need more than.
Like getting hard.
Yeah, just say I need more than 30 seconds. Let me know when you get off the MTR. It's an 8-minute walk. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna need that. I'm not gonna lie. I'm
If you would have jumped out with like a boner, it would have been like way different story. Yeah, probably. Like a flaccid dick is not so. It's way less intimidating. Yeah.
Like, how big are we talking? Like, as in, like you were like whoa, or like just big?
I mean,
threatening.
No, not threatening big, but like it was a decent fucking piece of meat, you know, like.
Not a whole leg, but like to the knee.
Like a decent bit of meat is also something you can get at Shady Acres.
True
right?
that, exactly. This all like trickles into marketing as well.
The next three things on the menu are Jaffle, which I do recommend. Jaffle, they're great. Jaffle, wine, big piece of meat.
Big ass piece of meat. But yeah, that was that's one of these fucking really weird ones. And then after that, you would have to like run back because they would be calling you, being like, "We have another delivery."
He's also an
that's gotta go. Yeah, exactly. He called again.
You really appreciate it.
You forgot the fries.
Now he's hard.
Wait, did they pay in advance or were they taking cash on delivery as well?
So either bank transfer, like Alipay or PayMe or whatever.
Oh, so he was paying in advance. That was more. Like, where's his wallet? I'm like, you have to find his pants first. It's going to be awkward for everyone.
No, I think it was like prepaid or something. So they would do that, and then you would have to run back and like come in, and you're sweating so much, get the backpack off, and somebody's standing there like ready to go, taking the backpack, loading up, and running out, and you have to stand there in your like shirt off, just like sweating in the AC.
This doesn't sound very hygienic.
Oh, I mean, like, fucking
it's Hong Kong.
It's Hong Kong.
No one is hygienic in the summer.
Yeah,
like,
I was gonna say,
if I walk to Shady, well, not I walk to Shady Acres, but if I walk from the MTR to Shady Acres, which is like 10 minutes with an escalator, I'm still sweating by the time I get there. Like, it's just dumb.
I take a cab to work. I'm still sweaty when I get out. It's fact.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, and you live 5-minute cab. I want to dox you again.
Man, I took a cab when I lived on Hollywood Road.
Which is literally even downhill. No, it is a little bit uphill. To be fair, it's a slight uphill. It's slight incline.
It's just one of those things when you like work 16-hour shifts for like fucking 2 years in a row, and you're like 5 minutes more is worth $24.
Yeah,
it's just
$27 now. We've gone up.
Yeah, I know. It's
rip off. Fuck
yeah, I know. Fucking right.
The most overprivileged group in Hong Kong is taxi drivers. If you ever ask me,
fuck the taxi driver.
That said, though, no. I used to have them see until like 2 a.m. now, or like trying to get home, like Sai Pun, they're like $100. I'm like,
no, they got more tourists to rip off, so they're gonna rip us off.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not a tourist. Like, you know, there's no tourists.
Well, you don't speak any Chinese, so that's on you.
I think Chinese for Sai Pun is still Sai Pun. I could be wrong.
It doesn't sound like that. It's Sai Pun.
You said the exact same thing back to me. You said the exact same thing. Well, we have two Chinese producers. Did they say the exact same thing?
Yang Pun.
See?
Yeah, you said the exact same thing as me.
You said Sai Pun.
I've literally been in a restaurant, and this is a genuine true story with my local friend, and we were ordering. He's ordering for me. Normally they'll just accept what I do, but it's like, we have a local friend. He can translate. Don't fucking interrupt my story, Adrian.
Sorry.
I will punch you. It's fine. The off-screen sometimes the off-screen count gets. It's fine. Sorry, it was just a comedic effect. I'm actually a nice guy. I'm not. I'm cheap. But I went to a restaurant like at Chachatega, and like my friend was like ordering for me, and they were like, I don't speak some Cantonese. Like, what do you want to drink? And I'm like, Coke. And they were like, went to my local friend and went,
not Cantonese.
Yeah. I know.
Exactly.
No, I'm not saying I did.
Literally not.
No, I didn't say, but I understood.
But you
I understood what they were saying, which is, what do you want to drink? And I said, Coke. Yeah, exactly. They went Coke, and they went to my local friend and went, what the fuck are you saying? I'm like, Coke. And they were like, oh no, he's not speaking. Said again to my local friend, what's he saying? And my friend went, Cola. And
no, he said hola.
I'm like, mate, it's called Coca-Cola. You literally bought me out. You bought me a can that says Coca-Cola on it. You would no.
So you expected them to read another language? Do you read another language?
Of course I do. I don't speak Korean. I don't speak Korean. I'm sorry.
This is Hong Kong speaking.
Yeah. We didn't colonize anymore. We occupied this for a reason. We don't colonize it anymore. We're not a colony.
I know.
Read the latest update. We're cutting that all out. So the bar industry has struggled. What does about that?
Well, yeah, I think.
What's the wildest story that you have that you can divulge?
The off-screen talent's talking again. Sorry.
What is the wildest story, man?
Like worst customer, worst group of people.
Well,
please
like,
can say their names too.
Well,
Please don't be me. Please don't be me.
Well, there was one night. It was the 21st of September. Actually, I remember because
Day after my birthday,
Oh yeah.
my friend.
So it was you.
Oh yeah. We've gone through this. She's never been.
My ultimate deniability was I've never been to see
I'm not so sure. No, it was we were having a Earth, Wind and Fire party because the song, of course, and it was the same night that Employees Only was closing in LKF, which was everybody's favorite bar because it was the fucking shit. It was the only quality place in LKF. I don't know if I should be saying that.
How dare you, Stormies, man.
True.
China Bar, who sponsored us with many free alcohol.
But yeah, we were all like dressed up to the teeth in like big fucking like disco wigs, and I had like glitter pants and like a shirt that was like open up till like down here basically, and we were raging, getting like so fucking hammered, and we were like EOS last night, we all gotta go, so we closed up like real quick. I think we just like cling filmed the entire bar instead of actually cleaning it.
Ideas.
Yeah, it just works. It's like
This story sounds like you're your own worst customers.
you can fucking say that. And then so we were about to leave, and the fucking key breaks in the lock as we lock it. So one guy has to stay behind, and like I'll get back to that. There's a circle to be made regarding that. So he's like, guys, you go ahead, like you go party. I'll stay here and wait for the locksmith. Da da da. So we go to EO, and it is fucking raging, and like half the bar is behind the bar, and the other half is front. But like there's no difference between who's working there and who's a guest, and everybody was so drunk. I remember having a like metal like pan like tray that you have in restaurants, and I was just smashing glassware like I was just like screaming, listening to
see you a bad customer
like a dirty Australian.
True.
Real Australian of you, man.
I know. Fuck, that's a dark.
We had to have a new slur for Aussies.
We'll circle back to that.
Yeah, we'll go back to a new slur.
So yeah, so we were just behind there, just like slamming glassware, listening to LCD sound system, and just like screaming. I fucked my hand up really badly.
Oh yeah, you're the victim in this situation.
Clearly.
I'm gonna sue you guys.
And like we just everybody's just like raging till like 8 in the morning. I remember leaving the bar like at 8 something, and then waking up. I was supposed to be at work at like 11, I think, and I wake up at like no, I was supposed to be at work at 10, and I wake up at 12, and my door, somebody's banging on my door because clearly I'm 2 hours late, and it's the current general manager Dan O'Shady, who is like, bro, you're fucking 2 hours late, you gotta go right now, come. And I wake up and I'm so fucking drunk, and I'm just like, I feel so bad. So on the whole way to Shady Acres, I'm walking, I'm just like crying because I'm like,
Dedication.
you know, like I can't do this, and like I know that like everybody's gonna be so pissed at me coming in this late, and I was just like not mentally capable of handling it, so I was just like crying and shit, just being like and I walk in and I go upstairs, and so one of the another colleague of mine, they're like, did the GM wake you up? I was like, yeah. They're like, yeah, that's when she came in too, so she was also 2 hours late. And I'm just sitting there like fucking crying and shit.
Everyone's like, there.
Yeah. So that's kind of what happened. So one of my colleagues there, he just looked at me and he's like, yeah, I don't need to manage you. Like you're doing this is not good enough to yourself. Like, I can't yell at you right now. Like you're too pathetic. And he was like,
oh, it's like Cassie to me. You're too pathetic. I'm not gonna yell at you.
Yeah, true.
He was like, get the fuck out of here. Come back in like a couple of hours. Like you're not like you can't be serving people like this, you know. So I left and I went down to Umanota. No. I didn't get that far. I walked down like 3 shops down to Umanota. They have the little like terrace stairs, right? Super nice to say that. And I think I ordered a drink and I laid down on those stairs and I passed out for like 4 hours.
I'm surprised someone didn't make a meme out of that.
There was a few like when EO closes and it's like but I was laying there for like a good few hours. They had like put like a little fucking pillow under my head and shit.
You lived like 5 minutes from there.
Yeah, 5 minutes too far. And then I woke up and I was like, fuck, what time is it? It's like fucking 4. Walk in again and same colleague looks at me and he's like, nope, absolutely not. You go home and fucking take a shower. Went home, took a shower, came back, ended up being like 9 hours late for my shift in the end. And I think when I came in, he was like, cool, I'm sending everybody else home. You're closing this shit by yourself. Fuck you. Like I'm not mad at you anymore, but like, fuck you. And this is the same guy who had to stay and look up the night after, and he was the only one in the team who was not at least 2 hours late, and he had to open the whole shit by himself. And he didn't get to party, and he was like, "Are you fucking kidding me, man? My entire team is like 4 hours late."
So Mary, Shady Acres professional.
Very much.
If they're not opened, just walk down 3 shops and wake them up.
Just find us everyone. It's right.
Magnus, come on. Come on, Elgin. Come on.
And then you get the restaurant trade. You start hanging in next to him.
I want a retrograde lemonade.
Yeah, that's one of the worst. That's one of my worst ones, I would say, at least. Like I've done some really fucking bad ones in other restaurants in Stockholm. Once I walked in, I was out drinking the night before, and I got knocked the fuck out by someone.
Did you deserve it?
Yeah, totally.
Swedish assholes. They're the Australians of Europe.
Oh God. Excuse me.
We have to be the British are the Australians of Europe.
No. We're just British. We're assholes by ourselves. There's no comparison.
That's why we're on our
Australia didn't involve 2001. Australia's still our fault.
That's exactly. That's
We used it as a prison and went, oh, why is Australia so fucked? We didn't exactly send our best people over there to start it.
But yeah, I was knocked out the night before, and I didn't remember that waking up. And I was also late for work. I cabbed in and just like jumped in. Yeah, for real. And I was a food runner at the time, and I was just running around clearing tables. And everybody, when I walked up to the table, they were just like, look at me like, the fuck's wrong with you? And none of my colleagues really told me. I can't believe they didn't. And then, so everybody used to be staring at me. And then I walked into the bathroom, like after working for like a good fucking 45 minutes, looked myself in the mirror, and I just had like dried blood like all over my face. Like it looked like I was like deformed or something, because it had caked up and shit, and my lip was split, and I mean I looked like something out of like a fucking horror movie, and nobody told me. It was so bad.
Swedish people polite, maybe that's why.
No, I think it's not Swedish people being black. It's the restaurant industry being fucked. It's very much he had a great night. He's fine. He can run. It's fine.
If you can walk, it's okay. But yeah.
So again, we asked who your worst customers were.
He was like, still me, every time.
I'm the king.
No, I mean worst customers. I mean like there's a couple of things. I mean like it's like say hello when you walk in. Like it drives me crazy. Like when people don't like treat you as human just because you work in the service industry. But you would have a lot of that. But like worst customers.
I think that's more like a cultural thing.
I am really considering if I've done that to Magnus. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, because I worked at a jazz lounge like a few years ago, just like kind of as a laugh. Like somebody asked me, I was like, yeah, I can do this. It looks easy. I was just hostessing.
White privileges. I worked for a laugh. You know that, Jack.
Oh, you guys do this for money?
Oh.
No, I like the band. Right, you sit watch the band, and like I just literally my job was just like to plug like menus. See, I don't even know the word.
You poor people order off a menu. They know what I want.
Use the POS system or anything. They're like, this was so fucking stupid. Like, no. And like, it was surprising. Like, everyone was really rude to me at this place. It was really, really expensive. Like a hidden jazz bar in Hong Kong. An unnamed one, but people probably wouldn't know. It's like just really rich people, and like they would completely fucking ignore me. Like they would. I was a ghost. I'd be like, how many people?
It's also just against your own interest. The nicer you are to bar staff, and I mean this as a cheap person, the freer shit you get. Like no one's been nasty, and they're like, you see the free gym bowl? Yeah, that's totally yours now. Thank you for not acknowledging me as a person. Just don't be a dick.
Like one of the absolute worst guests I've ever had was.
You can say Say their name.
I don't know his name.
Describe how.
We'll start naming people. It's fine. I'll guess.
He was from Boston.
My husband's from Boston.
I was thinking of
He's Chinese. Okay. So I'm assuming.
Garen Sorry.
But yeah, he walked in. He was like after drunk, disgusting and drunk, and he walked up to a it was this lesbian couple who were like regulars, fucking what are they?
They shouldn't have. They should. That's more of a Pontiac thing.
Yeah, no shit.
Great bar though.
And they were mixing, always getting fucking hammered. They were super rich and were always just like this, that, fucking shots, champagne, and they were always being fucking super sassy about it. Yeah. But they were super lovely and like, you know, they were great guests. Yeah. And this fucking like Mark Wahlberg looking dickhead walked up and was just like grossly hitting on them, and like they could handle their own in flipping fucking drunk dickheads off. Yeah. But there's also a level of it where it's like, this is not nice, and I have to. It's not that you need my like you don't need to be saved. Yeah. But this is still our business. You need to get the fuck out. Yeah. And he just like he was just like standing there like looking at them, trying to like persuade them with his like eyebrows that was out of control.
Oh God, it is my husband.
Her husband has the biggest eyebrows, like fucking caterpillars.
Yes. Bigger than these?
Yeah, way bigger. Like I'm with none of the facial hair to distract from it as well.
Oh, wow.
Like a shaved baby, but only eyebrows.
Yeah, like.
And he's balding, so they're becoming more and more apparent. Oh fuck, he's co-hosting this thing. Hey, Garen.
It's like Bert and Ernie.
But yeah, he was standing there. He just kept doing that, and I like, you know, at first you kind of want to just like you want to see that they see that you're looking at them, and maybe then they'll stop, and maybe that's it. So I was just like looking at him, and I was like, yeah, kind of like I was kind of like looking at him a little bit like, dude, what are you doing, you know? And he looked over at me, and his eyebrows went like, and he was like, don't give me the old fire. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? And then I was like, hey ladies, like sorry about that. And then I was like, holy shit, this guy's fucking shot himself.
Oh my God.
And yeah, and he walked
You're
around.
that intimidating? Look at him. Shot himself! Shot himself!
Magnus is coming.
Clearly not.
The white supremacist it's fine.
Clearly not me. No. It was one of the ladies. She was scary as hell, man. But
not because she's a lesbian, just because she's scary. Got your back, man.
Thank you,
you got my man.
But yeah, he totally shot himself and like wanted to like fight me kind of after I kind of looked at him like, dude, just leave the lesbians alone, man. What are you doing?
Did this person leave before you shit themselves?
It smelled. He kind of had to, I think, yeah. Because we didn't find shit anywhere else, and like he left, and the smell kind of left with him. Yeah, and now like every time you look at that guy, it's like you kind of can't really.
Wait, is he ever come back and you recognise him?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you a name after who I think it might be, but we'll do that off camera.
Okay. Like if you hang out in Soho, you probably.
Is he still in Hong Kong?
I think so, yeah.
Ah, it's not. I'm thinking them.
Bostonians are the Australians of America.
Keep shit on Australia.
For sure.
This podcast is the Australians of podcast.
Yeah.